Before we begin today's service, we acknowledge that the Unitarian Church of Montpelier is located on unceded Western Abenaki land. We honor, recognize, and respect these peoples as the native stewards of the lands and waters on which we gather. In that same spirit, we will respect, protect, and be good stewards of this land for as long as we walk upon it. Good morning. Good morning. I'm Jen Roberts, your worship associate this morning. On behalf of the entire worship team, I am delighted to welcome you, those of you here in the sanctuary and those watching on the live stream. I am personally delighted to welcome Ginny Sassaman back to the pulpit. Ginny has been a treasured member of this congregation for 18 years. In addition, she has a master's in mediation and a certificate in positive psychology. She is author of the book, Preaching Happiness, Creating a More Just and Joyful World. Ginny is also the founder and former president of the Gross National Happiness USA. She also co-founded Indivisible Callus in 2016 and continues to lead that group, fighting for a better democracy. I know we're all grateful for the work that Ginny does on behalf of all of us. Thank you, Ginny, and welcome back. Since 1864, this church has been a sanctuary for those seeking spiritual sustenance as well as peace and justice in the world. Whether you are a newcomer, a longtime member, or somewhere in between, you are part of our community, and we are so glad you are here. If you are a newcomer, we'd love to offer you a special welcome. We invite you to raise your hand or stand if you're comfortable. Wow, amazing, welcome. We are so glad you are here with us today. You're also invited to fill out our welcome form available at the hospitality table downstairs in the vestry so that we can connect with you more fully and welcome you. And now it's your turn. Please turn to your neighbor and share a few words of greeting. Thank you for sharing these warm greetings. I have to say, that's one of my favorite parts of being a worship associate is standing up here while you guys are all chatting. It's so lovely to witness. You are invited to continue your conversations after the service during coffee hour. Please note that we have hearing assist devices on the table in the back of the sanctuary. You can also listen to and watch the service from the fireplace room downstairs, should you need to leave the sanctuary for any reason. A member of our lay pastoral care ministry team will be available here in the sanctuary after the service. If you have a personal concern that you would like to share, please feel free to connect with today's lay pastoral caregiver, Mary Jane Olson, right here in the front. Thank you, Mary Jane. And now, let's take a deep breath, make sure our cell phones are silenced, and enter more deeply into our time of worship with the prelude, Both Sides Now by the inimitable Joni Mitchell.
Good morning. Good morning to everyone here in the sanctuary, all your beautiful faces on this cold day, and also good morning to everyone at home watching the live stream, and I hope you're nice and cozy at home as well. It really is quite the honor to be back here once again. It gives me great joy to really work hard to try to provide a meaningful worship experience for each of you. So I look forward to sharing this next hour together and having a meaningful time. The opening words come from an essay by American writer and activist Rebecca Solnit, and these were published in The Guardian in November 9th, 2017. So just at the start of the first Trump administration. Quote, "Here we are in a crisis in which almost everything we love is going to be under siege in the US in ways that will affect the world in so many ways. I was asked to talk about hope. First of all, hope does not mean saying that this is not bad, and it does not mean saying that we can defeat it. It just means saying we will keep showing up, that we will not give up, that we will assess our powers and weaknesses and recognize that the future we face looks grim, but we do not know how it will unfold, and neither do those we oppose. How it will unfold depends in no small part on what we do. People too often think hope is smiles and sunshine when it's fury in the face of danger and oppression and pressing on in the storm. We do not know what will happen, but we can know who we can commit to be in the face of what happens. That is a strong beginning. All of us, without exception, are qualified to participate in the rescue of the world. So, my friends, thank you for showing up. Thank you for pressing on in the face of the storm, for not giving up. And now let us ponder the meaning of hope in our own lives and the lives of others near and far as we worship together this morning. Please rise in body or spirit for our opening hymn, number 346, "Come Sing a Song with Me."
Come
Let us now light the chalice, symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. This morning, we invite Carolyn Shapiro to come up to light the chalice. For those of you who don't know, Carolyn is the person who is responsible for the lovely artwork that has been donning the walls of the sanctuary for the last few months. She's done an amazing job of curating the pieces and installing them for us, and we are so grateful. Thank you, Carolyn. We light this flame, an enduring symbol of our collective commitment to lead with truth and compassion. Let us now join our voices in saying the congregational covenant. We covenant to speak honestly and listen deeply to each other and the voice within. Treat each other with compassion and honor our differences. Take responsibility for the impact our words, actions, and inactions have on each other. Support each other in times of need and of grief, and celebrate the beauty and joy in our lives. Honor the gifts of the past and be gentle with each other as we grow. Encourage each other in the brave work of creating a more beloved community and a healthy, sustainable world. And forgive each other and start again. Today, our children and youth will be participating in a Love in Action Sunday. This is a day where all the children in our spiritual exploration program come together to participate in a hands-on service project, putting our UU values into practice. Everyone's help from pre-K through high school is welcomed. This week, everyone will be creating love notes of encouragement to fellow UU congregations that are doing some really important and hard work right now on behalf of their communities, giving rides, grocery shopping, providing childcare, protecting and standing up for one another, caring for each other in so many ways. Parents and caregivers, you are welcome to oh my gosh, why can't I say that word today? Participate in the activity if you choose to. If your child is not registered for spiritual exploration, please come with them to fill out the registration form, and then you're welcome to stay with them or return to the service. Pickup today will be in the room between the vestibule and the vestry at approximately 11:15. Please make sure to sign out your pre-K through grade 4 children, and youth will meet their adults during coffee hour. Now we will sing the children out as they go. We hold you in our love as you go, as you go. May our heart be at peace as you go. To worship the spark of your precious light. We hold you in our love as you go. We hold you in our love as you go, as you go. May our heart be at peace as you go. To nurture the spark of your precious light. We hold you in our love as you go. It is a joy to be part of such an engaged community. There is so much going on, as I'm sure you all know from reading the weekly e-news conveniently delivered to your email inbox every Friday morning. I just have one announcement today. This is an update on an annual tradition that I know we all look forward to, the UCM Talent Show. This year's show was originally scheduled for Saturday, February 14th. It is going to be rescheduled for sometime in March. As soon as we have a date, we will let you know. I plan to participate, and I hope you all will as well. So keep working on those special talents, and we'll see you on stage or in the audience for the talent show. Thank you, Bronwyn, again, for organizing. The act of giving is a spiritual practice as important as any other element in our shared time of worship. Our generosity is a form of love. Our gifts freely given help us to practice Unitarian Universalism within and beyond our congregation. Each month, through the UCM Community Pouch Program, we share part of our collection with an important church fund or community organization aligned with our values. This month's Community Pouch recipient is the Hames Best Project, which provides person-centered services, including independent living skills and employment supports to adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities throughout Vermont, with a focus on Washington and Orange counties. They are currently working on renovating a property in Randolph, which will provide permanent housing. Half of our cash offerings will go to the Hames Best Project. The other half will directly support the mission and ministry of this congregation. You can find the offering pouches, I think most of you already have, and at the ends of the pews, and pass them down the aisle towards the center. We are so grateful to each and every one of you for your generosity in its many forms. Your offerings will now be gratefully received. And now, please enjoy the musical offering, I Am Willing by Holly Neer.
choir. That was wonderful. Thank you. In this beloved community of care and belonging, let us now take the time to share in the ritual of lighting candles of joy and concern. This is our time to be vulnerable with one another, and through that vulnerability, grow stronger bonds of community. During the candle lighting, you can come forward to share a special joy or milestone so that we can celebrate with you. Or you can share a personal concern or loss that calls for our love, our support, and our prayers as a spiritual community. In a moment, I will invite you to come forward. You can share your name and briefly share your joy or concern that is on your heart before lighting a candle. You may also come forward and light a candle in silence if you wish. As a reminder, the service is being live streamed, so anything shared here in the sanctuary is also shared through our YouTube channel. But this portion of the service will be removed before we post the service on our video archive. And if you are joining the service via live stream, you are welcome to share your joys or concerns in the chat. For our meditation today, which is adapted from John Kabat-Zinn, who is a much beloved and respected mindfulness teacher. So I invite you to place your feet on the ground. Close your eyes if you are comfortable closing your eyes. If you wish to keep your eyes open, then kind of think of some like gauze in front of your eyes. You're not really looking at anything. Take a deep breath. And as you continue to breathe gentle, relaxed breaths, try sitting up as tall as feels good to you in the moment. And imagine that the top of your head is a mountain peak. As you keep breathing, feel that your whole body is a mountain, grounded, yet reaching to the sky. You are a beautiful mountain. You are massive, solid, unmoving, beautiful from afar and up close. And as you sit here in the stillness and majesty of your mountain, experience the sense of uplift through your spine, becoming a breathing mountain, unwavering in your stillness, completely what you are, beyond words and thought, a centered, rooted presence. And now imagine the sun is traveling over your mountain with light and shadow and colors changing virtually constantly. Night follows day, and day follows night, and the mountain sits there, constantly changing, yet always itself. It remains still as the seasons flow one into another, and the weather changes day by day, moment by moment. Calmness, abiding all change. Seen or unseen, in sun or clouds, broiling or frigid, day or night, the mountain sits, being itself. At times visited by violent storms, snow and rain and fierce winds, and through it all, the mountain sits unmoved. And now, as we sit as the mountain in meditation, we can embody the same unwavering stillness and rootedness in the face of everything that changes in our lives. We experience our own periods of light and dark, moments of color and drabness, storms and pain, as well as joy. By becoming the mountain, we can link up with its strength and stability. The weather in our own lives is not to be ignored or denied. It is to be encountered, honored, known for what it is, and held in awareness. In this way, mountains can teach us to know a deeper silence, stillness, and wisdom. Let us join now in a moment of silence. I have two readings for you this morning, one of which might be familiar and one of which probably isn't. The first is Hope is the Thing with Feathers by Emily Dickinson. Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. And sweetest in the gale is heard, and sore must be the storm that could abash the little bird that kept so many warm. I've heard it in the chillest land and in the strangest sea, yet never in eternity it asked a crumb of me. The second reading, Hope is Not a Bird, Emily. It's a Sewer Rat, by Caitlin Seda. Hope is not the thing with feathers that comes home to roost when you need it most. Hope is an ugly thing with teeth and claws and patchy fur that's seen some shit. It's what it says. It's what thrives in the discards and survives in the ugliest parts of our world. Able to find a way to go on when nothing else can even find a way in. It's the gritty, nasty little carrier of such diseases as optimism, persistence, perseverance, and joy, transmissible as it drags its tail across your path and bites you in the ass. Hope is not some delicate, beautiful bird, Emily. It's a lowly little sewer rat that snorts pesticides like they were lines of coke and still shows up on time to work the next day, looking no worse the wear. Thus ends the readings, perhaps just in time. So I've known about Emily Dickinson's poem, Hope is the Thing with Feathers, for a long time. I always thought, feathers wafting in the air, how lovely. I never understood why that was a symbol of hope, but I liked the imagery. Then last summer, all around me, from national leaders to next-door neighbors, a lot of people were talking about hope and how to fend off hopelessness. So I finally read Ms. Dickinson's poem. Now, to me, there is nothing fanciful or lightweight about it. Rather, the poem made me consider the unrelenting work of birds. Did you know, for example, that loons from Wisconsin fly up to 1,500 miles to the Mississippi Delta for their winter migration? Comparing hope to feathers seems appropriate. Hope takes resolve and commitment. The late beloved Jane Goodall called hope a survival trait. That applies not only to birds. We are now talking about the survival of democracy and our visions for a more just and joyful future. In contrast, Caitlin Seda's poem about hope as a sewer rat does not resonate with me at all. But I wanted to share it with you because maybe Seda's imagery is exactly what some of you need right now. Maybe a scrappy sewer rat speaks to your heart and your soul in these hard times. Whichever poem you prefer, whatever path any of us takes to find hope, we all need it because, as Jane Goodall wrote, quote, without hope, all is lost. It is a crucial survival trait that has sustained our species from the time of our Stone Age. Hope is what enables us to keep going in the face of adversity. Grounded hope, as opposed to wishful thinking, may seem elusive these days, but there are so many ways to find a hope that works for you. 2 weeks ago, Reverend Verdes shared a compelling story of how Dr. Martin Luther King found hope through conversations with the divine. Perhaps the youth of our church give you hope. Or perhaps it's the fact that nature has been showering us this year with snow, as she should in January, rather than ice. So one way that I find hope is to look back in history, both our shared past and my own experiences. I want to share 2 of my stories which are touchstones for me, always there to remind me that despair is not permanent. And as Rebecca Solnit points out, we don't know what's going to happen. The first story happened when I was just 27 years old and working as a continuity writer at the public television station in Hershey, Pennsylvania. I wrote such stirring prose as "That's Sesame Street every weekday at 4 o'clock. I loved working for public television, but my job was not satisfying. I really wanted to be a producer. So when station management offered me a job as associate producer and co-host of a new weekly public affairs show, I eagerly said yes. There were a couple of hitches, though. Because this position had not been approved by the board, I would not get a raise or even a title change, and I had to still do my old job. So that was not sustainable. I mean, I was young, and I tried to make it work, but the stress kept building, exacerbated by the fact that my male co-host and associate producer was paid a lot more than me for significantly fewer responsibilities. I pleaded with management, just give me a title change, but they didn't budge. So I decided to file a sex discrimination lawsuit. Fortunately or unfortunately, the president of the station learned of my plan before the suit was filed. I got called into his office and was told, "We're sorry, this just isn't working out." I was kicked off the show, though I could still keep my continuity job. So I was crushed in utter despair. I sobbed for hours, gasping, heaving sobs. After a few days, I went back to writing continuity, but spent most of my time in the office looking for another job. It took 6 months, and then I landed an amazing job, Assistant Director of Media Communications at the Common Cause National Office in Washington, D.C. I was thrilled to be part of this group of smart, caring, dedicated fighters for a better America, and it was exciting. My office was next to CBS and across the street from NPR. I even sometimes got to work directly with the chairman, former Watergate Special Prosecutor Archibald Cox, a truly wonderful human and one of my all-time heroes. But despair was not finished with me. 3 months into the job, my boss invited me out for a beer to tell me that management had serious concerns with my job performance. I wasn't fired yet. They were giving me another 3 months of probation. If I didn't turn things around, then I would be let go. Once again, I was devastated and sobbing. Not only did I love this job, I had just moved my husband and 2 kids from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania to Washington, D.C., and none of them were happy about it. I could not fail them or me. I simply had to figure out what was expected of me and do it, which I did. It was challenging, but I worked hard and succeeded. Indeed, I became a valued and promoted staff member. It was my favorite job ever, and I am still close friends with several former Common Cause colleagues. Of course, the stakes now are vastly, immeasurably higher, but I never forget how my times of despair evolved into times of joy. As the Buddhists teach us, everything changes. A moment of despair is only a moment, not all of time, even if it is a very long moment. I could not have imagined that both stories would have such happy endings. I believe the same is true right now for the United States. We're in an historically bad moment, yet we can realistically hope for better times to return at some undetermined time, to be sure, after an immeasurable amount of work and suffering. So personal stories can help us understand concepts, but in our current circumstances, I have sought hope in more comparable situations in history. In particular, I've been thinking about the French resistance to Nazi occupation during World War II. I recently finished reading an historical novel about that time period called The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. In the novel, one of the main characters returns from the countryside to occupied Paris. The scene is very bleak. Starving French citizens, destroyed buildings, no lights on at night, a once lively city living in constant fear. The scene oddly filled me with hope, since for my entire life, I have only ever heard Paris spoken of in glowing terms as one of the most beautiful cities in the world. If Paris could bounce back, so can we. Although bounce isn't really the right word. Sure, it took many years of recovery and so many deaths, and again, so much suffering. Indeed, as I continued reading the book, life in France under Nazi occupation got much, much worse. More than once, I flipped to the end of the book to remind myself that many of the characters ultimately went on to lead thriving, peaceful lives. The problem is, in the present, living in our own crisis in real time, I can't flip to the end of the book. So what does hope look like now? It looks like you and me and Americans of all races, religions, genders, regions, etc. Hope, it turns out, is the American people. And historian Heather Cox Richardson says, we will prevail because, quote, the American people are just too intransigent when it comes to democracy. A column called We the People on Substack has tried to track pro-democracy actions nationwide. By the end of December, they had tabulated 55,000 protests, a number which is surely far short of reality. I doubt, for example, that that number includes the weekly honkin' wave in downtown Hardwick and downtown Moortown, or the daily protests in Woodstock, Vermont, just to name a couple. So it wasn't like that a year ago, when my husband and I attended the People's March in Washington 2 days before the inauguration. There were only 50,000 people there, compared to 500,000 people at the Women's March 4 years earlier. So that was dispiriting. But now, the resistance is powerful and continues to grow. 3 million protesters at Hands Off in April, 5 million at No Kings in June, 7 million at No Kings 2 in October, and surely we'll smash those records at No Kings 3 on March 28th. And yes, if you didn't already know it, the next No Kings Day is scheduled for March 28th. And once again, it will be all of us, all ages, nationwide, blue states and red. Together, we will nurture each other's hope. Jessica Craven, who writes the Substack column, Chop Wood, Carry Water, recently wrote that going to rallies always fills her with hope. In turn, she fills her readers with hope every single Sunday evening when she publishes a long, long list of what's gone right in the past week. There's a lot of good out there. And as we know, there is also a long list every week of what's gone wrong. The present, like the past, is complicated. After the November elections, in which very impressive numbers of Americans voted against authoritarianism, I felt a much-needed boost of hope. But it is hope grounded in reality. Just a week later, I was in a room full of people getting training in nonviolence for peacekeepers. When we introduced ourselves, the majority of us said we were feeling both despair and hope. I believe observers like Heather Cox Richardson and Robert Reich are right when they say we are winning, but they and others make clear we need to be resilient because the worst is yet to come. Isn't it bad enough already? Anyway, I'm trying to be as brave as I can, which is one reason I am so grateful to Minnesota. To quote an anonymous Facebook post after the massive general strike on the 23rd, quote, "People in Minnesota, you have given me so much hope. You guys should be proud because you have given this country so much hope and education on how to respond to this. I will always remember the community you built during a time of cruelty. You could have hid and buried your head in the sand or snow, but you guys chose to stand and unite together. I'm in Philly, and damn, mad respect over here from Philly. You are leading the path." And then, the next day, came grief and rage over Alex Preddy's murder. Hope and despair are both walking this journey with us. As Amanda Gorman wrote after Preddy's murder, quote, "Know that to care intensively united is to carry both pain, dark horror for today and a profound, daring hope for tomorrow." Which brings us to the future. My hopes are daring. I think this crisis could be the fertilizer we need to make the kinds of major changes politically and spiritually that this world hungers for. It thrills me, for example, to see the large crowds that Senator Sanders and Representative Ocasio-Cortez have drawn, even in red states. They explicitly talk about needing to rein in the oligarchy, an argument that I think only began to resonate last year. That gives me great hope. You know, California right now is looking at a proposed wealth tax on billionaires. We live in an abundant country. Maybe the horror of the present will teach us to share the wealth in the future. But it's not just policy. We have an opportunity to examine who do we want to be? How do we want to be in relationship with each other and the earth and the animals? Again, Minnesota is leading the way. They are modeling a caring culture, a joyful culture, people selflessly taking care of each other. It is a beautiful spiritual beacon for us all. Of course, we all want to leave a better world for the children in our lives. But there's a line in the song the choir sang that makes me think about the generations which will follow us. The choir sang, To be hopeless would dishonor those who came before us. And you sang it too. I think to be hopeless would also dishonor those who come after us. Someday, maybe another 80 years down the road, our descendants will be looking back at us in their own search for hope in their time of crisis, and I don't want to disappoint them. Robert Reich says there are two ways to look at what's happened in Minneapolis, two different tipping points for America. He wrote, "The first is to see the nation tipping more deeply toward Trump's fascist police state. ICE and the Border Patrol have now become vehicles of state terror. The second tipping point, America is tipping toward mass revulsion of Trump and the people around him. As the nation shudders on the edge of his police state, we're gaining stronger unity against it and taking more responsibility for the well-being of each other. In the darkness, we're finding the light of America. We're finding the light of America." That beautiful sentiment is backed up by data. Just one data point. Last week, the Democratic candidate in a special state election in Minnesota won by 91%. 91%. That's unheard of. Then again, a lot of unheard of things are happening, and they are not all welcome. Despair is not through with us yet. We will again have days of rage and mourning. And with love, I might cry here, with love in our hearts and hope at our backs, we will organize, march, sing, vote. Yes, we will vote in the midterms. And we, the people of the United States, all the people, will free this country from the dark forces of authoritarianism and get back to our work of building a more just and joyful nation. And I say this with all my heart. May it be so. And now please rise in body and spirit for our closing hymn, which Danya will introduce.
Our closing hymn today, as we sing of hope and joy, is quite possibly entirely unfamiliar to most of you. I don't recall ever hearing it in this church. And we debated that. Do we want an unfamiliar hymn to close this service? But the words were just so perfect that we had to do it. So I'll be singing the first verse through with Sarah, just so you can get a little more used to it. And then everybody will sing the first verse, and we'll sing it all the way through. As we sing of hope and joy today, some know only anguish and despair. How can we lift our voices in this way, while some have pain and misery to spare? Everybody. As we sing of hope and joy today, some know only anguish and despair. How can we lift our voices in this way, while
As we draw our service to a close, we extinguish the chalice and carry within each of us its healing flame, the warmth of community, and the spark of hope into the days and the week ahead. And now join in saying our unison mission statement. We welcome all as we build a loving community to nurture each person's spiritual journey, serve human need, and protect the earth, our home.
Our closing words, turning once again to Jane Goodall from her book called The Book of Hope. My message of hope is, there is hope for our future, for the health of our planet, our societies, and our children, but only if we all get together and join forces. Yes, we can, and yes, we will, for we must. Let us use the gift of our lives to make this a better world, for the sake of our children and theirs, for the sake of those struggling in poverty, for the sake of the lonely, and for the sake of our brothers and sisters in the natural world, the animals, the plants, and the trees. Please, please, rise to the challenge. Inspire and help those around you. Play your part. Find your reasons for hope, and let them guide you onward. Now I invite you to share in singing the postlude. Amy will join Danya in singing the song through in its entirety one time, and then we can all join in.
Some of you might have heard this song. It's by Heidi Wilson, The Playfield, and it became one of the anthems that was often sung in Minneapolis over the past month.